So a big thing in martial arts, combat sports, and life is motivation. And motivation is something that's quick and fleeting, and it only comes now and then. You have a few coffees or something, and you get a little bit pumped and you're ready to go. What we want to be building is discipline. And discipline doesn't start with anything apart from a commitment to yourself. Now, what you see on the internet is a lot of people talking about morning routines, these long-winded routines that you go into before you start, these 5 hacks to win this and build this motivation and keep this going. But realistically, none of it is that. I think the thing is the commitment that you make to yourself. Are you the person that you say you are when nobody else is around? So there isn't anybody looking at what you're doing. Nobody's telling you to do anything. You're someone that can count on yourself, that if you say you do things, then you turn up and you do them. If you don't quit in hard times, then you don't quit in hard times. And that commitment to yourself is the biggest thing to build discipline, because now you don't have to worry about anybody else or depend on anyone else. You can depend on yourself. And when you do this, you're building trust within yourself. So you become more resilient and more disciplined because, again, you can remove the expectation, because regardless of what's going to happen, you know that you can count on yourself to bounce back and keep on going. And inside of that is your discipline. So your resilience and your discipline comes from just being able to carry on going. And that comes from the commitment that you've made to yourself of saying, I am the person that just keeps bouncing back, or I am the person that shows up every morning, shows up in the evening, shows up when I'm tired. And as long as you never break that, then that's a lot easier to find your discipline within that routine. So even worst case scenario, you can do all of the work and maybe not hit the goal that you set out for. But again, you can trust in yourself that you're somebody that will dust yourself off and just keep on going. And that is someone that will become unstoppable in whatever it is they're doing, because how are you going to beat them? If you know they can just dust themselves off and carry on going. And again, you build that trust with yourself, then you're good to go and you can carry on building from that. Build and keep that trust within yourself, not trusting in any external things, nothing else but you. And like I say, the discipline is found within that, because you're always going to be there to rely on and be able to just keep pushing through. For me, that's the most important thing to never break, is the commitment that you've made to yourself. If you break the trust within yourself, then there's nowhere to hide. Like if you say that so use an example, if you're running on a treadmill and you've said you're going to turn up and you're going to run 5 miles. Once you get to mile 3, mile 4, something may have happened, but you better make that 5-mile run, because the second that you allow yourself to quit and then move away from that objective is the second when you have created an opportunity and created a thing to yourself that you're allowed to quit. So now you're breaking the promise to yourself, and you always want to keep that door shut. So for me, again, if I'm running and I've said I'm doing something, then I'm always going to do that. I don't want to know that there's a door that I can leave from. So when things get harder, whatever it is, I don't want to know that there's a place that I can exit from. Yeah, because that's only going to make me in a worse position, that I know I'm creating the habit of that I can exit and I can quit. So the more I can keep that promise to myself, the stronger that is, that I'm going to be able to push through. I'm going to be more resilient, because I don't know there's an exit. So eliminate that option of that exit and keep pushing through, keep those commitments to yourself, and everything's going to be a lot stronger. Now, you can create this little cycle of hell if you carry on going through. So you set yourself a challenge, you set yourself a task, and then you don't do it. No matter how big, small, or meaningless it is, if you've set yourself a challenge and then you've not done it, you're going to keep repeating this cycle. So again, something gets put on the agenda, task gets put forward, goal gets set, and then we just leave it. Cool. So now you're somebody that a task gets put in front of you, a goal gets set, and you know that you can't count on yourself. And this is a big thing that you see all the time, that people will set goals, and they come through with this heavy motivation to start. And then as soon as things get a little bit, they don't even need to get difficult, they can just get mundane and people stop. So you're now somebody that knows that you stop in that moment. So you set this goal and you're like, yeah, but then the problem is I can't. Because you broke the relationship and the trust with yourself so many times that you don't even believe that you can do those things. So you need to start with these little wins. Whatever you say you're going to do, turn up and do it. Again, don't need to be a big thing. It can be as small as you want, but you starting to build the trust in yourself, knowing that you're somebody who turns up and does what you say you're going to do. You're a person, man, woman, who turns up and does the things that they've said they're going to. That's how you're going to build trust in the things that you're doing. You can bring your nightmares into your reality, and that is by betraying your own trust. Because again, there's nowhere to hide from it, yeah? So any other circumstance maybe something has happened with a friend. Okay, you leave. You can exit the situation. You're cool, and then you're back to yourself. But if you have lied to yourself, you can never get away from that. And then your nightmares just follow you, and you again create this hell in the thing that you're no longer the person that you said you could be, and there's nowhere to escape from that. If you're in a nightmare, at least you wake up. This brings your nightmares to the mirror. So every time you look at yourself and you're looking and, okay, I need to go and do this today, how are you going to believe that? If somebody else came to you and every single time they told you they was going to do something, they never followed through with it, how would you believe that person? And that's the relationship you're creating with yourself. That you're looking at yourself and you're going, cool, today, this is what I'm doing. How are you supposed to believe that person? So you're already losing the battle before you've even began. It's a case of not only being in a fight for your own discipline and saying you are who you say you are, you're also in a fight to become someone that you don't want to be. So even if that's a stronger motivation for you, build that trust within yourself that you always know that you can turn up no matter what it is, big, small. Stay committed to that relationship to yourself and the trust within yourself. And then underneath all that is the resilience, is the discipline. And that's the stuff that's really going to help. It's not these hacks and these morning routines, and of course like routine will help some people and everything like that, but sometimes things don't go to plan. So now what? You can't do your routine and your whole day's knackered. What's a lot stronger is if the day's ruined, a load of things are going on, there's a load of drama, there's all these kind of things, but you're still someone who said, okay, no matter what, I said that I'm gonna go and do X today, and you turn up and you do X because that's who you are and that's who you said you are, and that's how you're gonna get shit done.